He's absolutely Jason, he's absolutely gay. He'll absolutely brighten up the darkest rainy day. He's funny and loves movies, he's smart and he's a Jew. He's an actor and an activist and wants to hear from you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Absolutely Jason Stuart. I'm here with filmmaker Dan Ringey and actor and producer Paul Elia, who's been on the show before. And this is sort of cool because, number one, these are both my friends. And number two, I'm here at a really happy occasion because we have all, but certainly you guys much more than me, have worked on this feature film, this cop drama, Dirty, which is going to be dropping July 12th on all, basically, online platforms.
Correct.
Which is sort of a feat in itself. The idea that to make a film from beginning to fruition to the end that actually gets put someplace. And I think that as a group, all of us have worked together. And for those at home, this is where you show how people in Hollywood are incredibly supportive of each other. I met Paul around 5 years ago at a play of a one-person show.
Yeah, I was the Casa de Campo,
right,
pancake show.
In the bottom of a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah,
of
where
which
you meet all the young boys.
Exactly. And I just went there exactly on 4th of July to have dinner. So a salad and a tamale, very good.
Wow.
And we met and we became friends and we created a web series called Mentor, which is doing quite well. And you can watch that on jasonstuart.com, STUART. Just click on Mentor if you want to see it. And Dan
was the DP of it.
Dan was the DP and also one of the producers of the show. We starred myself, Paul, and Alexandra Paul from Baywatch. And that show was sold to Out TV and Wolf. Mm-hmm. So, and then you guys decided to do this movie written by
Benjamin Alexander.
Ben, listening, thank you for writing a wonderful script. And starring Roger Ganvir Smith and Paul and Alexander Paul, Tony Dennison from Major Crimes, Chaz Bono in his first male role, Adrian Gaeta. And am I missing anybody?
Yourself.
Stewart.
Oh, myself.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in it too.
Jason played Manny Brown, the bar manager, who because of what you said, I'm not giving away any plot. But
No.
Yeah, because Jason was like so aggressive, he motivated Adrian to go get a dolly. He went next door, and that's when everything.
I sort of start all the problems as I do in a lot of my films.
Yeah.
In the one that's coming out, I'm sort of causing the whole rebellion against the slave owners. And what's interesting really is that Roger Ganvir Smith is also in The Birth of a Nation with me, or I with him. And we're in that film together, and we have a scene or two together. So it's sort of...
Joseph Randall, right?
I play Joseph Randall.
Is Joseph Randall, do you think Joseph Randall would listen to Absolutely Jason Stuart?
I don't think he would even understand what a computer is. What you talking about, stupid? What is that, boy?
Yeah. So he wouldn't listen to that?
I don't even know if he'd understand the voice. Someone in 1831 would understand a voice coming out of a computer. But thank you for that interesting bit of information that has nothing to do with what we're talking
Doesn't
about.
he follow you on Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to make a Joseph Randall Twitter. Yeah. Just have him tweet.
Which 6 people will follow, all him and his N-word saying self.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say here, and there are 6 degrees of separation. Alexander Paul has been my best friend for literally over 30 years, and we have done several projects together. Paul and I have done, you guys did another short film together called A Friend?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It's because Paul and I met each other in 2012, and then we just kind of, liked each other and liked our work ethics with each other, and just decided that we were in Oregon when we met, and we on a project. And
what was the name of it?
It's called Love in the Time of Monsters. You
probably want to take that mic and put it on the other side of you so they can see your handsome face.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Hey, what up?
Man.
Hey.
What up?
You kind of look like, what's the guy in...
Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
And I look very, very, very much like Esai Morales.
Yeah. So, who's that?
It's my boy. Don't talk about him. If you say anything bad about him, I swear to God, I'm going to stab you.
Okay,
go ahead.
So we Paul and I met each other in Oregon on a film that I was the first AD on. I met Alexandra in 2010 on a Lifetime movie that I was
called.
It was called.
Why Are You Chasing Me?
It was called.
I Slept with My Boyfriend.
Yeah, it's called My 17-Year-Old Daughter's in Trouble. I Need to Save Her Life. I call,
Stop Chasing Me. We had sex in 20 years ago.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why Am I Finding You Online? I Was Just Raped.
Yeah. They remodeled my kitchen at 17.
And we met in a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Did
No,
we
did- we
not?
did- no,
But you
but
work with
we
the
have-
same people.
Yeah, I work with the same
What was the
people.
one I did?
I forget the one you did. But Doug Campbell directed it.
yes,
Doug's one of my
it's
most
called
favorite people on the planet.
with Haley
Haley Joe Osment?
no,
yeah.
Duff.
Haley Duff.
Yeah.
It's called I forgot.
It's called My Sister's More Successful, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm just as pretty because I had a nose job.
Yeah.
Someone just stuck their hand in and put a light on. That was really interesting. That was really creepy.
Am I lit?
It was
Am I
very,
lit?
but someone put a light in. They
Am I
came in
lit?
and they put their hand in. It was almost like Adam's Family.
Yeah, but speaking of Adam's Family, so Dan, when he was directing, or not when he was directing, when he was an AD, it was such a coincidence how it happened because our original first AD dropped out. Remember that, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped out because he was a bitch, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I never met that guy in my life. I knew the filmmakers. I knew the filmmakers. I interviewed for the project, but my schedule worked out where their day one was my last day on a film.
Coincidentally.
I'm looking down and they see me on the whole camera. I was hoping you wouldn't show that because I was looking up the movie that I'm in so I could say what it was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So then,
nobody cares, but it's driving me crazy. No one cares.
you're doing research. That's
Go
good.
ahead. I'm
You
doing
can do
research.
that.
I'm listening
Yeah.
and doing research. I need to know what Home Invasion.
Home Invasion.
Because there's so many
Yeah.
movies called Home Invasion that I can't remember. It's C. Thomas Howell in it.
Oh,
who was
cool.
really, really great.
Was that when you were in the restaurant?
I play the chef.
Yeah,
I play Manny
that
the
was,
chef.
That was,
Not Manny, Maurice.
that was some of your
Maurice.
best acting I've seen, Jason. Swear to God.
Thank you so much.
No, I like even though like the part was a chef and but the way you were, the information that you were giving was like so important to you as you were saying it. So I was really.
Are you
impressed
teasing
by
me?
it. No, not at all.
Oh.
I'm being 100% genuine. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
I would say
wouldn't that be
something nice,
fucked up
but I
if I was
haven't
like,
seen it.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh, God. So you were telling us about something we weren't even
Yeah,
listening
so
to.
so pretty much long story short is I met Paul in this movie and he had if I may a very small role. But you were there for the whole movie.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah.
You were just like on hold pretty much every other day.
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
wearing a gorilla costume?
He was
I was
wearing
the
a
main,
monkey suit.
I was the second lead gorilla killer.
Yeah.
And they flew you there,
Yeah.
which I find very bizarre.
Yeah, it
well,
was
you know
great.
what? But
Because there's no one that can play a gorilla like you.
I wasn't gonna do it because I didn't want to just be in a mask. Like I wanted to do some acting, and then someone convinced me, and they said you might find something, you might learn something interesting about playing this part.
And we're paying you. I'm there.
Yeah, I put a lot of effort into this character. Like even though it was just a gorilla and I had no lines, like I made sure that this character walked a certain way. He spoke. He thought things. You know, and that's what me and Dan would talk about. Is after we're done shooting, Dan would be like, "Man, you fucking killed it, man."
Yeah, and Doug Jones was on that movie, and
Yeah.
Doug Jones is like notoriously known playing like all of the cool creatures, like Pan's Labyrinth. He's the guy with the hand on his eyes, and he's
So Paul almost missed out on having a career where he could play creatures.
yeah, Paul. No, this guy was just like he would tell Paul like all these inside like awesome tricks of the trade that he
Because there is a bit of
there-
when you get in your costume, you have to act differently than you would be without a costume.
and you have to be
It's all
like
got about
mentally
behavior.
prepared for it, or you're gonna like lose your shit.
Yeah,
Because
those are really like I would just remember like it was so overwhelming like playing this monkey like because I put so much thought into it. Like it was like I think I knew what an artist was after that movie.
I think people are laughing at us.
Yeah, I know it's so
I
funny.
think we're taking this way too seriously. But I understand what you're saying, and I agree
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
But I could someone's listening to this and going, "Who are these people? They are so affected by their own
So
presence."
what I was kind of drawn to Paul was just because
His dedication.
he was so dedicated. He was there, first person on set for rehearsals, and he wore a mask. And the lead actors wouldn't give two shits about.
I'm sorry.
They would
I
like.
didn't mean to say
No,
that,
it's
But I
fine.
could just imagine it. He was just like this. There's this kid, and he's got a mask on, and he's so into it. But honestly, we're laughing because we're all friends. But this is Paul, and this is me, and this is you.
Yeah.
And this is why we were all working together on so many things. And I am so thrilled that Dirty is now coming out July 12th.
Thank you.
On everything. Is there any? It's all of it. It's Netflix, Hulu.
Yeah, it's all over online platforms on pretty much any VOD cable provider, DirecTV, FiOS, Charter, Time Warner, all of those, all online platforms. And then I believe if you go on Amazon, you could
Buy it for $2.99 or something.
Oh no! Oh, you can order DVDs and stuff.
Oh.
But yeah, you can go on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, and rent it or buy it. Either way, and that's all on.
Oh,
July
we can get
12th.
DVDs of it.
I believe so.
Yeah. We
should.
you can order a DVD of it. We sent them the artwork for like the back.
It takes longer though because they pretty much make them to order. So if you ordered one, then they make you a DVD or a
wow.
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But they don't have like tons of them.
Maybe
you
they
know?
have 10 stacked
And-
up.
If that.
And Jason, you know, this was his first
Directorial debut.
Yeah.
So you've
in a
primarily
feature.
been basically producer, AD, DP, and done so many things. And you're not in. Your family is not in the business.
Not at all.
So you came. So how did you get your first job, and how did it start for you?
I was taking film production classes at community college from Long Beach, and then
Why though? Like, what made you want to do that?
I always kind of was into it. I was always like writing scripts and
Paul,
stuff
it's my
since I was
show.
a kid.
Paul, that's my show.
Yeah, it's his show.
Yeah. That's
Jason,
correct.
can you ask me the question?
Yeah.
please?
please.
Yeah.
It's my
Wait.
show.
Let's take it back. All right, back to one.
Jay, can we rewind that? It's
Yeah,
my show.
roll sound, roll camera.
It's my show.
And
It's my show.
Scene. Jason Stewart, take one. Mark.
Oh, you just touched the mic. You can't
Yeah,
touch the mic.
Oh, jeez.
God, he's not good at doing anything.
And action.
All right. So how'd you start?
So yeah, and
So you really wanted to be in the film business, basically.
yeah, you know,
And as Bernie Sanders says, you went to community college
I
for
went to
free.
community
And now
college,
Hillary
not for
today,
free.
Hillary is saying that you can get it for free now.
yeah, oh,
She's
okay.
going to do it for free.
Yeah, so I actually didn't go for free.
Trump's going to pay for it.
Trump said that he will build a wall around me in a college, so I get education.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And then Paul played that part, and he did it so well. He played the wall.
yeah, Paul played the wall. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's hard to take. I love these guys so much that it's hard to take them seriously.
I want to see you play Trump though.
Oh,
please.
Jason would be the best.
You! And where's Cook and Hillary?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I've got the best wall.
everything is so good here.
And I know these walls. They're good friends of mine. They're good people.
Yes,
okay?
I use these walls
I know
all the
them very
time.
well, okay.
My daughter Ivanka uses his walls, and I touch her when she's. Well, I don't actually touch her, but I stand very close and I think about her. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no sweat.
It's great. So this is really exciting. So you went to school and you started working with the people at Lifetime?
No, so I ended up dropping out of college. My dad ended up getting cancer, and he couldn't work. So then I couldn't pay for my own school. So I decided
I
that,
didn't know that.
yeah, so, but he beat cancer. And then so what I was doing is I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm valeting cars. I'm 19, and I hate it. I can't go to school, so if I liked working. I liked the movie production stuff class, so I'm like, I'm gonna try to work 2 days a week on set. So I got a list of all these production companies, and I called them and said I needed internship hours to graduate, and I wasn't even close.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
When I first started, I got a list of all the agents, and I called them, and I said, I'm a young character actor, and I just did this short film and these plays, and I got a meeting at ABC. You know, and that's how my career started.
That's
too.
how it is, man. Fake
Yeah.
it till you make it.
Or just, you know, or it's not even just fake it. It's almost just getting it, doing the footwork, making the list, making the calls, making that extra call, and all of a sudden somebody finally says yes.
Yeah.
And it's about showing up no matter what.
But you know what's interesting, Jason? That's how Dan met Ben. He met Ben through valeting at the valet job that Dan was doing.
Yeah.
And you did it too.
I did it too.
Yeah.
I
know.
didn't do it, which makes
You
me feel sort
didn't.
of sad.
But we tried to get you.
I don't think I could have done it.
Your representation never called us back.
Yeah, I just think the idea of
We
me
sent you offers.
going to cars, people coming over to me going, are you driving that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm really tired.
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling well. And something about this whole experience is
Yeah.
making me wet. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back with Dan Ringey and Paul Elia here. We're going to talk about I wasn't able to park cars like that. No, he's using my jokes again.
I just said
He
I just
does
asked
my
him to
stuff.
modulate. That's all I
It's
fucking
a
did.
bit that I do all the time.
I don't want to.
All right. right back, and I'm going to give him some shit. We'll be back in just a second here on Absolute Jason Stewart Paul.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the tree.
What we do here is go back.
Hi, I'm Rob Schneider.
Hi, I'm Martha Madison.
Hello, I'm Eric Roberts. Hi, this is Brad Williams.
And you're watching Z.
Z Hollywood TV.
I'm Money B, and you can kiss my ass.
Let me swallow my snot.
That's sexy.
Keep up the good work, Mile Net.
Let me see how I'm gonna come and check out.
No, I love you.
Oh yeah, why
No cyclocyanabin, the little.
Do you take one? There you go.
Always switching up. Always switching up.
What was that?
It's my wedding band. Jumped out of my. Oh my God! I hope it's an omen. Call my wife.
He keeps moving away.
Hi, I'm Rob Schneider, and you're watching T Hollywood V.
Z Hollywood TV.
Bang, bang.
Nailed it.
Just so you know, Jay, who brings the show back on, I have never seen anybody give me the five fingers more exuberantly and with power. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, go! And it's almost like I think he's going to get a hernia doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and Jay's a little guy. And
Probably used to work at the airport, like bringing in planes.
I don't know. That's it. But he doesn't do it with a hostility like that. To you, bringing the. Would you put your shirt down? It looks
Kinda
really
sweaty.
It looks sort of messy. So we're talking about Dirty, the cop drama that's coming out. It's so funny because we're all funny guys, and it's a very heavy drama. Roger Ganvir Smith, that everybody knows from all the Spike Lee films and the Gangster Chronicles, and soon to be seen in The Birth of a Nation with myself, directed by Nate Parker. Which comes out October 7th, which is something I'm really excited. And Roger and I have become friends, and he's been on the show, and so is his cast of his film, the play that he directed about Martin Luther King. I had the cast in here.
Oh, cool.
So that's the way things happen. People say, how do you get on the show? How do you get into things? You start working with people that are supportive of you. And even you called me the other day, said there might be a part for you in this movie. I'm going to try to get it. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. And the
Yeah.
rejection is overwhelming, more so than I could ever tell anybody. For me, in 40 years in the biz, it's overwhelming. And the thing about you guys is I see you both in your 20s, and you sort of have totally reinvigorated me, because it's about showing up no matter what,
Yeah.
constantly. And I know Paul's started working with this film, and he said, I'm going to do this film. I'm going to get Roger Ganvir Smith to do it. And how did you find Roger? Tell.
Oh,
You were
wow.
living in Detroit
So
5 years ago.
Yeah, I was acting in Detroit 5 years ago. I did a movie called Corner Store.
Was it a feature?
It was a feature. It was the same budget as Dirty. It was around $90,000. And Roger was the lead in Corner Store playing the dad. So he was only there for 3 days, but they shot all the stuff in 3 days. And
He was a great guy. I mean, talk
Great
about
guy,
Roger
yeah.
for him. Poetic, smart, supportive.
yeah, he's a huge advocate of African American rights.
But not
He's,
just, I think he's a huge advocate of all rights.
Mhm.
I don't really think it's just about the black community. I think that he was so supportive of me and spoke to Nate Parker about me. And it's just, I can't say enough nice things about him. He's going to have
Yeah.
a baby this month. Has he had it yet?
I don't know. I got
I just texted him today, to see.
Yeah. But Roger, I was such a huge fan of Roger's, and then he was doing this movie in Detroit, and this was like one of my first films.
What'd you
So,
play?
I played a Chaldean guy that was delivering chips to a store. I played this real ghetto chips delivery dude that thought he was black.
I wonder how you got that part.
Yeah.
And
So
Roger.
So you went method for it.
Yeah, I went method.
Well, his
for
method-
it.
He's still method for it.
Yes, he still thinks he's black, and because folks at home don't know is that his parents own or used to own a store in Detroit.
Yeah.
A
Liquor store.
But they call them corner stores, don't they? And
corner stores,
yeah,
yeah.
and they're just these stores that are in these areas, and all this different kinds of characters come in, and so this was not something you were unfamiliar with.
Oh, I was super familiar with it, and they. I went in and auditioned, I got it, and I was really excited. And this was like, I really thought that this was going to be the thing to like take me to the next
Propel you.
level. I was like, oh man, it's going to get into Sundance, Moon Dance, every dance. Like, I'm so excited about it.
Formal.
Yeah, formal prom, homecoming. So then,
I'm gonna wear a gown.
yeah. And then Roger was on set, and then I didn't have any scenes with Roger, but I kind of forced my way into getting a scene with Roger. Like there was a scene where like Roger's like doing this dance, and it's towards the end of the movie where the credits roll, and I wasn't supposed to be working that day, but I just showed up in my costume, and I just went up, started
In
dancing,
makeup.
and I started dancing with Roger in it, and they used that shot in the film, and then Roger was like, "Man, I see you, trying to get in, on the camera and stuff. I like that." And I was like, I'm such a huge fan of yours, man. I hope to work with you again one day.
I'm moving to L.A.
And then I moved to L.A. I did a play, and Roger showed up, and Roger remembered me from doing that play. It was The Interlopers, directed by Jim Fall.
He just showed up.
Yeah. Roger just showed up.
Did he come up to see you, or did he know someone in the cast?
No, he didn't. No, he knew the Diarra
Okay.
Kilpatrick,
Who was the star? One
Yeah,
of the
who was the
actors.
star of the play. Great
So
actress.
total coincidence.
Yeah, total coincidence. He showed up and saw me in the play, and then he sent me an email, and he said, "Hey, man, I saw you in your play. Good work."
Wow.
And then I always remembered that, and then
That must have been amazing.
yeah, and then when Dan told me about Dirty, we were looking for a lead, and we went through a bunch of different options. And
Just a little sidebar to that, because I know the story to this, is that you emailed everybody that you were coming to town that you had met, and you had met Clinton, who is Coco Peru.
Yeah.
Right? Somewhere. Where did you meet Clinton?
I met Clinton on the set of Detroit 187. I was a stand-in.
Again, and he had a guest star on the show.
He had a guest star on
And
the
when
show.
you said, I'm coming to town, he said, oh my God, you'd be really right for this part of this play.
Yep.
For folks at home don't know, Paul worked a whole season as a stand-in for Michael Imperioli, and also did a part on the show, Detroit 187. And that shows, and that was sort of like school for you almost.
Yeah, it was.
Working on a series for a whole year or a whole season.
Definitely was. And like
you met all these great, you met Dee Wallace, and who's also been on the show.
That was cool, yeah.
And so many wonderful actors.
Yeah, and it's good because Michael was playing a cop in that show, and in Dirty, a lot of the things I learned from Michael about being a cop, I used in Dirty. And I told Dan, I was like, Dan, I think I can get Roger Guinevere Smith to do this part.
And what did you say?
I was so excited just because
You said, oh yeah, right.
No, Roger is from Do the Right Thing. Roger was my favorite part.
Oh yeah,
That's
the film that and he just did what is it called? Chirac also for Spike, his latest film, and he also did Dope, which was out recently, and he's been working like crazy.
I was a little unsure about it because I had this because Dirty comes from a trailer that we shot, like a little teaser trailer that we shot in 2013. And it was Paul and James McPherson were our Berg and Jackson. And I was unsure just because I wanted to make sure that I stayed true to
But that's what I love, because I love the idea that
Roger was very unconventional.
The color didn't matter at all, number one. And he to me, I thought he took a film that could have been gone in a standard way, and he made it so creative and so different. And he has this Christopher Walken-esque kind of character, man.
Ben and Paul were so sold on Roger, and we decided, we're like, okay, well, I'm going to meet with Roger, and I'm just going to talk to him, and we're just going to kind of come up with an idea of how he's going to do this character. Roger being one of the greatest character actors ever, I knew he can, definitely, pull it off, but I wanted to just see his take on it. And when we
I know you were
down,
nervous because
I was so nervous
because this is somebody like working with someone that's got 30, 40 years of experience working with some of the greatest directors.
Some of the greatest
show
directors.
A picture of Roger. Jay, show him a picture of Roger so people know who we're talking about.
So when I met with Roger, he told me, and James in the trailer played it very menacing and brute, where Roger
Very loud.
Yeah, and I think he did James did fantastic for the trailer, and James did
Just a
did
different
part,
take.
different take, and James has a part in Dirty, and he and it's still to this day he's one of my favorite actors in Los Angeles, but Roger he told me, and he goes, Detective Berg is one of those guys who's been doing this so long. He knows that if I go this way, I can get here, and if I go that way, I can get here. And he's the kind of guy that can shake the hand of the mayor and then at the same time go and sell and pick up drugs from junkies.
And not blink.
And yeah, and just like the mindset of he's evil on a mental level compared to evil as in where James was very like brute and forceful.
Well, what's interesting about Roger is Roger has this incredible presence where he doesn't have to try. And he doesn't look like he's acting, and he doesn't look like he's trying. And almost you go, is he doing this or is he not doing this? And I remember Paul saying, God, I don't know. I've never worked with anybody like this before.
Yeah.
And you were like, to catch up to figuring, okay, is this going on or is this not going on? And you would call me during the shooting and go, oh, my God, And I said, I kept saying to you, and I don't know if you remember, this is like school. This is like acting school, because this guy is just so improvisational, so completely committed, and so completely in his own skin. And I'll tell you a little story about Birth of a Nation, which is really interesting because he played something completely different in that.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, do you remember when we were filming the bathroom scene?
Yeah.
And do you remember when I was pushing Roger in the bathroom, then he randomly turned around? Do you remember?
Yeah.
So we're doing this scene in the bathroom where Jackson pushes Berg in the bathroom, and then he's like, "We're gonna go to jail. We're fucked."
And that's your character.
Yeah, and then Berg says, "No, we're not. Just listen to me, and we'll be okay."
That's Roger's part.
So Dan was like, "Paul, shove Roger in the bathroom a little bit." And I was like, all right, I'm going to do that. So I shoved Roger in the bathroom, and I started pushing his back a little bit. And he turned around and looked at me, and he goes, "Don't hit me!" Really loud. And I was so scared. And then, but the cameras were rolling. Then he just looked at me and walked into the bathroom. Then we started the scene. And he just looked at me really calm. And I was so nervous from what
Did you know
earlier.
whether it was Roger or whether it was Berg?
I honestly was I looked at him so shocked, I didn't know what to think. But all I know is that I said my lines with all that happened. Then when Dan said cut, Roger was like...
They would do this thing where, while we're rolling and stuff, they would have this little dialogue between them to get into it. And this all started because of Roger, because I never seen Paul do it ever.
I do it all the time, honestly.
But Roger would ask him these questions. You know what I mean? In the movie, it's about these two dirty cops that decide to steal this drugs and money from these group of bad guys, and it's going to be their big payoff. But someone steals it from them. So it's in all of these really difficult situations and places that they're at, very serious stuff. Roger would almost just antagonize you to get under your skin, and it was great because that was.
And he was calling. I've never said this to you, but you were calling a lot during the movie. God, I don't know what to do. And he said, and a couple times you said, my God, I'm not sure what's going on exactly. A couple times you weren't sure whether he was really serious or does he like me? Does he not like me? Am I doing it? And I almost knew that, and I didn't say anything to you. I almost knew that he was doing that. And then I work with him on Birth of a Nation, and we're only in one scene together, and it's a big, big dinner scene, and he plays a house slave, and I am a plantation owner. So he kept having to put this really heavy tray on the table, and he kept knocking me because the tray was so heavy. So Roger, the actor, is looking, oh man, I'm fucking up the shot, and this is the powerful actor. So I said to the woman who's playing my wife, I said, what I need you to do is I need you to take my napkin, tell me I'm a slob, and talk to me, put it in my lap, and I'm going to turn over. So when Roger comes over, he's able to put this tray down without touching me. Otherwise, I'd have to fucking, slap him or do some shit because I'm a plantation owner. He's not allowed to. And I did that, and Roger said, man, hey. And he said, thanks. He looked at me, he said, I didn't know what I was going to do because I could see the look on his face, and he was sweating. There was 110 degrees in humidity in Savannah, Georgia in the house. And he was so different because he was playing a character. He plays an older slave who is quite afraid of what's going on and doesn't want them to cause a
Mm-hmm.
rebellion because he's afraid everybody's going to get killed. The complete opposite.
Yeah, and
You
I
know.
thought like just having like Dan, I'm sure it was like super fun like directing Roger and shit.
Oh, it was
and, like,
amazing.
Dan would like
But that's what I mean. You don't know with him, and I've talked to him on the phone. Sometimes, and I remember when I called him and said, "Hey, could you put a word for me in the part?" And he goes, "Oh man, they didn't. Nate Parker didn't say anything. I know him, man. Know him. But just go in there, do a good job." He didn't say we talk about everything else, but you. And he went in, and then I get the part, and then I call him and say, I said, "Hey, thanks for putting a word in. I got the part." He says, "Oh shit, man, you were the first choice. I knew that. I just couldn't tell you." So that's who he is. He did the same thing to me that he did to you.
Yeah, Roger was
You never know. He keeps you on your toes, and it's sort of exciting.
for sure. And like we would the things we would say like in one of the opening scenes where we do the drug bust, I'm like looking through like the crack of the door just to see if I can see anything that's happening. And I was like really in it. Like I had my gun in my hand, and it's a real heavy gun. Like Dan made sure we all had the weight of a gun, no plastic bullshit. And I'm looking through the crack trying to see if I can see like what's happening. And like I look at Roger and he's like, he starts like giggling, like laughing at me.
Now, did you know if he was laughing at Paul or Jackson?
Honestly, like I looked at him, I saw that he was laughing, and then like he was just like, like giggling and like laughing. But it did a lot for me.
Right.
It did a lot for me, and this was my first lead in a feature film, so it was
It's very exciting.
Roger made it very very easy for me
And exciting, though,
Dan,
too.
And the way Dan would direct is Dan would do like one take, and he'd say, "You know what? I want you to do whatever you want. If it doesn't make sense, it's okay." Which was like
real permission.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of permission, and me and Dan really trusted each other. Like me and Dan, I had to do like an emotional scene, and I was freaking out about it. I just went to Dan's house. Do you remember that, Dan, when I slept over at your house?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to tell Dan, like, Dan, I don't know what I'm doing in this next scene. I honestly have no idea how to do it. But when I showed up at Dan's house, he knew why I was there.
Well, it's an incredible amount of pressure. You were not only, you created this project, you produced this project, you helped them rewrite it, honestly, right? I mean, you helped the rewrites. Both of you did rewrites on the project. Because you have to in any film to make it work.
Yeah, Ben, our writer,
and Ben was really supportive in that way.
He was rewriting stuff on the day.
But he was incredibly supportive because I on the whole thing. Now, how'd you get Alexander Paul?
You got asked.
Yes,
Alexander
I did.
Paul, yeah.
My girl. I said, hey, there's a part for you, and he said, there's one or two parts for you in this film, and she said, oh, Jason, what is this now? She always she always says that to me, and then I said, because I've never steered her wrong, and I said, I think this is really good because she'd never played a lawyer really.
Yeah.
Detectives, doctors, women being
She plays
chased.
a bad person.
Yeah,
she never really does that.
Yeah, and this was somebody who really was on the wrong side of the
She did it
team.
with a lot of class too.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't like bad. She was like I don't think Alexandra will ever shake off like this natural class that she has. You know what I mean?
Or goodness.
She puts that in a lot of roles.
She does a great job of kind of being bad in this, and you know what? And Ben, our writer, did a great job of writing a movie where no one is good, and that's like the big theme of it. Except Christopher,
except Commander Rocco.
Yeah, Commander Rocco. But even then, Commander Rocco.
That's a great title.
Yeah,
no one's good.
No one's good. Dirty is the best because everyone is dirty in this.
But Dan, like Commander Rocco, you feel like he's
There is scenes where Commander Rocco.
Well, you guys work this out. We're going to take a break, and
Go
we'll be
for it.
back in just a second here on Absolute Jason Stuart with Paul Elia, star and producer of Dirty, and director and producer of Dirty, Dan Ringey. We'll be back in just a moment. Hey, stay with us.
Yeah. So.
I'm Hanny from Lady Pants, and you're watching the top 10 women who are killing it in comedy. Congratulations, number 9, Kristen Wiig. If Kristen Wiig's rise to deserved stardom has taught us anything, it's how a proud parent must feel when watching their kid shit in the toilet for the first time. In the 8 years since joining the cast of SNL, she has managed to earn 2 Emmy nominations, write, produce, and star in one of the highest-grossing female-led comedies of all time, and star in 5 $150 million movies in 1 year. Everybody wants her and she never disappoints. She's gorgeous but awkward and has the perfect balance of bringing all of herself to every role, yet simultaneously immersing herself completely in the character. She was still playing characters named Tuck Shop Employee when she was 33, relatively dead by Hollywood standards. And at the ripe old age of 43, she is a heroine to us all.
Only a few more to go. Keep watching.
I start. Hi, I'm Moxie.
And I'm Nicole, and we're the ladies of Suicide Girls Radio, the world's leading BYOB radio show. Pour a glass of your favorite tipple and tune in on Wednesday nights between 8 and 9 p.m. as we discuss life, liberty, and the pursuit of free nipples. Oh, just flash it would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? People think flashing your tits is easy, right? And it's actually kind of hard.
What we do here is go back.
Hi, I'm Rob Schneider.
This is Slink Johnson, a.k.a. Black Jesus, b.k.a. Godzilla Lungs.
Hello, I'm Aaron Roberts.
Yeah, what's up? This is Craig Wayans.
Hi, this is Brad Williams.
Hi, I'm Martha Madison.
What's good? It's your boy Marcus Walker, and you're watching Z
Hollywood TV.
Yes, that's a skinny latte on my emblem. That's it.
No
Paul,
whip,
Paul, you're not
no
on
whip,
camera.
please.
Oh,
No
he's
whip,
back.
please.
So tell us. So everything is 6 degrees of separation with
Yeah.
us. So I worked on The Closer
Yep.
6 years ago with Tony Dennison. Met him, became friendly with him. He's also been on the show. And then by total coincidence, again, he's in the movie and plays
Commander Rocco.
Commander
yeah,
Rocco.
Commander Rocco.
How
he
did this
plays,
happen?
All Paul. Paul got him. That was.
And how'd you get him? Because it wasn't through me, though. I know him.
The way we got Kristen Minter, Chaz Bono, and Commander Rocco. Those were like the 3 keys that me and Dan were getting. And Commander Rocco, we saw a breakdown. Well, me and Dan created a breakdown. We got
Folks
a
at
lot
home
of,
don't know that this is what they do is they send these breakdown of all the roles to the agents. It's a service that does that. They send them to all the agents.
Yeah, Paul was pretty much our casting director on this.
Yeah, so I wanted a Dan explained me the type of feel he wanted, so then I showed Dan 6 actors that were submitted. Tony Danson was one of them. So Dan went through and he goes, I like this guy. The other guy Dan wanted was
Bruce Willis.
yeah, Bruce Willis.
Busy.
He was in what's the movie with?
There's
Johnny
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot
Valentino?
of people.
You never wanted to mention, Paul, the people who didn't get the part.
Yeah, there was
You
there was a lot of people on it, but like
he's terrific, isn't he?
Tony Dennison just like it was like one of those things where it's like Tony Dennison, yes, let's send him the offer right now.
And yeah, Tony. Like I talked to his manager and like I was like, Dan, so his manager said that his day rate is our budget.
That he read the script, and Tony is a big supporter of independent films.
Yeah.
And I remember he talked about this on your podcast. He mentioned that it's these small little projects that you never know which one's gonna like be the next big thing,
and also create relationships where it may not be this project, but will be the next one.
And he liked
to do that'll take you to the next place.
Yeah, he really liked Commander Rocco. He liked him. He goes, yeah, this guy's different. He's like, he's talking shit. That's I like that.
And then Chaz Bono, who
Chaz
people
Bono.
know as Sonny and Cher's son, who was Shining Cher's daughter, and has been, in the last number of years, been doing a lot of theater and really wanting very, very badly to be an actor. And you gave him his first role as a man in a film.
Chaz gave himself his first role.
Yeah, Chaz gave it to himself.
Chaz, like we auditioned, I want to say about 45 people for the role of Jerry the crack-headed hoarder. And,
which is the part I wanted.
Yeah, well, it's a fantastic part.
And apparently I was really not offered that part, and I was not willing to audition.
Like there were some guys that came in that were so funny, like those.
So funny, the actors that were so good, but Chaz came in and we were very hesitant because we gave ourselves, we're like, okay, obviously we don't have very much money.
But he went in wardrobe. Remember when he changed?
Yeah, he changed into a wardrobe, and he really went the whole 10 yards for it, you know. But we gave ourselves this rule that we said, we're not going to let people's resumes dictate us because we don't have this budget where we're going to be getting, you know, Johnny Depp. Or
Dan didn't look at anyone's resume. He put the headshots forward. He goes, "That's all I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the back."
And so it was all the best actor gets the job. And
well, how did I get it? I didn't even audition.
You didn't audition?
Yeah. Well, I had to convince Dan, but
yeah. It was, yeah.
And you let me pick my name too.
You picked your name.
How did we pick Brown? I don't even remember.
I think it was
you did Brown.
Yeah, I
picked
it was,
Manny.
Yeah, I think it was just.
I was dating a guy.
I think
named
Dan,
Manny at the
because
time.
Dan likes the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, no, he doesn't. He
Oh.
does not. But anyways, Chaz came in there and
nailed it.
Knocked it out of the park completely. And he did so. It was like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, we have 12 other people that we're seeing today. Should we tell him to go home, or should we see him just for the sake of it? Because Chaz he turned into that guy and did such a good job. He had this like animal instinct quality to him where I was like, it seems like, I don't know, it was.
He almost looked like what's those things that crawl around those.
Yeah,
you know, it's like that.
He
definitely
plays
this hoarder guy.
It was like his teeth, his facial expressions, just even when he wasn't talking, just he
Paul
would like
called
lose
me.
himself.
Paul called me and told me, he says, God, he had something done to his teeth before he came to the set. He
Mhm.
told me, he said he did some weird thing to his teeth, and it was really great.
He left 100% in front of the camera in this movie, and I say it to everybody. I go, it's that dedication that we wanted on this movie, and that's the dedication Paul has. Paul knew everyone's lines. If Paul wasn't even in the scene, he could recite the scene, and that's the dedication that we wanted. That's the dedication we got from him.
And it's intimidating. Can I tell you when he's off?
Yeah, it is, and you know but it's really good because he can help you along the way.
Yeah, it's great to do your scene, and he.
Yeah, I was doing that like I did a play, and I mean, like I did a play recently, and I just feel like if you're a lead in a film, you have a certain responsibility, and I felt like as the producer, I went above and beyond and made sure that I knew everything, and even like when me and Dan, like Dan was directing the movie, me and Dan are picking up food, picking up grip equipment, like me and Dan were like we're doing everything.
It was a total
Together.
passion project. It was like this.
I told you.
I
I told you when I went. I said I want to look bad. I want to look like somebody who works in a dive bar. And I had and I remember the first thing you said, because you didn't see me when I arrived. I think you did. You said, "Honey," I went right into makeup, and I had to do my eyes and bags and the cigarette. And he looked, and I brought in my own wardrobe. And you said, "Oh, so you're really doing this, huh?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, what'd you think?" And I thought,
yeah, you grew out the beard, and
I grew my hair too.
Yeah, you grew out your hair. It looked awesome.
Yeah,
and it really comes through on camera.
I think so too. I think those little details are really important.
And I honestly can say, and Dan, tell me what you think. Like, I don't think we could have shot anything better with what we had. Like,
we used every single resource possible.
Literally, like Dan got so much stuff. Like Dan went through all his resources of years of knowing everybody, and was able to like pull it off. And like, I really don't think anyone else could have done it that I know personally. So
it was a family affair, really.
It really was.
And your brother was in the movie, who's in the green room right now.
My brother
Say
Charles.
Say Charles. Hey Charles.
Hey Charles.
Hey Charles.
Hey Charles.
Hey Charles. Hey Charles.
So yeah, my brother Charles, he ended up playing he's in your scene. He makes a little cameo, guys. If you watch the movie,
Dan, can you recite his line?
The audience we should use Charles as an Easter egg for the audience. And then he also helped out with Chaz Bono's scene, building the, because we had to make a hoarder house. So that was like our largest art dress, and Charles ended up helping and making the hoarder house, which we actually used my parents' house for.
Dan used his parents' house.
Yeah.
And Chaz's agent's mom has a scene in the film. She plays this really crazy lady in a house, and they're actually in my dining room.
Yep, they are. We used your house for,
in my dining room, yeah.
for
So
the Miss Valdez
Rick's,
scene.
Rick's mom.
that's what I mean. The whole thing. Rick is Chaz's agent, isn't he, or a friend?
Yeah. They've been best friends for years.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. So everything is 6 degrees of something.
And Rick's husband Alex helped us produce the movie.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's really
And then Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph from Central City Stages. They were so nice to us from when we shot the trailer.
We couldn't have shot the movie without them. They gave
let
us
us
such a good discount.
Yeah,
it really helped, looked out for us.
They when we shot the teaser trailer, they let us shoot
people
it.
Let people know what that is. That's a facility downtown. It's a, I guess
it's actually closed now. They moved places. I think they're in. I'm gonna butcher where their new place is, but I want to say it's in like Woodland Hills or something. It's in the Valley.
Oh, because I've shot definitely 3 different movies there.
Yeah,
they did commercial and 2 movies.
They had Central City Stages, or Central City Studios right by the American Apparel building downtown. Then Central City Stages off of 21st and Alameda, which they shot tons of stuff. We did, pretty much half the movie there.
Oh yeah, we did.
And then they ended up moving to the Valley.
Who got that place, I wonder?
I don't think it's anything. I think they're
tearing it down.
I don't know.
A lot of good conversations with Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph was very helpful. He helped us do some casting, and they gave us the deal that we needed to make the movie happen, or we wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
Him and Scotty Collins. Scotty Collins' help was a big help too.
What did Scotty Collins do?
Gave us every cop thing we needed.
Oh wow!
Cars, guns, belts, badges.
Is there like a cop person you go to?
Scotty Collins.
Scotty
Collins. He's drifting away from that, and he's producing his own TV show. I think he's producing the Jay Leno show, the car show. The car show. He's working over there, and Scotty's a producer, and he just helped us out.
Wow.
I've known Scotty for years, and he's
so
so
it's
supportive.
from doing all these Lifetime movies, right?
Yeah, just any project they do.
Yeah.
And he loves acting.
Yeah,
wow.
Scotty plays a role in the film too.
Wait, I know him.
Yeah, Scotty Collins plays a correctional officer.
Yes.
He is a big
So tell her we're getting to the end of the hour. So tell us what's up next for the both of you. What are you working on next?
I'm doing some writing, but next up I want to do is I have a comedy in mind that I've been talking to a couple places with. We're trying to find a home for it right now, but I want to do a comedy next. I had Dirty was turned out to be very funny for how dark the film was, and I know we all had a great time doing that. And
more dark comedy, just to let people know it's a dark comedy, not funny.
Yes, exactly.
Funny, creepy, funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It definitely had its moments, and I feel like comedy is the next step I want to move towards.
Cool. And Paul, what's up next for you?
I'm gonna be cleaning my car, and
I think so.
my room. Probably do that. And projects. Well,
you just did a movie with a very well-known European director.
Yeah, a Russian director named Sergei Bedrov. He was an Academy Award nominated director.
Wow.
For Rise of the Mongols, Genghis Khan story. I did a feature with him, and I shot a pilot with Interscope Records. So that should be coming out soon. And other than that, a lot of stand-up. And me and Dan are, and you are continuing to collaborate.
We're actually in the process of writing Mentor Season 2.
We are writing Mentor Season 2.
Woo!
Mentor Season 2 should be brought to you guys soon. I can't tell you, but it's not a spoiler alert, but Alexandra Paul is very crazy in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to get a hold of Paul, do you have a website yet?
I do not have a website yet, but my email is paulalaya123 and all social media at yahoo.com if you guys want to email me anything.
I thought it was 147. That's Detroit.
Yeah.
I finally remembered.
Yeah, was it JStew34?
Don't tell everybody my
No, your handle, your Instagram handle?
No. Oh, that's JSSTU. That's for Instagram. 59.
59.
That's the year that Doris Day got nominated for Academy Award for Pillow Talk. Okay. And if you want to get a hold of Dan, how do we find you?
I'm on
Facebook?
Facebook at Daniel Ringey, Ringey.
Why do you do Daniel? I couldn't find you today.
That's my Christian name.
Oh,
I'm joking. That's just my full name. You know, going through
Christian name.
what it is. What I like to do is everyone knows me as Dan, but I put Daniel on my social media just because that's how like my family and stuff knows me too.
Yeah, Dan's not trying to like get cool with his fans. You know what I'm saying? Like when fans hit him up, Dan's like, "Hey."
I want to be like where you're like, "Oh, hey Marty Scorsese, how are you?"
yeah.
That's how it is. So,
hey Marty.
Yeah, Marty. So I'm Dan is my Marty.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, and then like when someone talks about great directors, like, yeah, I remember I was working with The Rings. And, Dan Ringey. Yeah, I call him Rings. He's great.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to say thank you. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. Everyone, please, July 12th, find, I guess, Dirty all over. Look for Dirty 2016 because there's a couple more films with the same title. But 2016 is the Dirty we want, starring Roger Guenveur-Smith.
We have a website.
Paul Elia. And there's a website called Dirty the Movie.
Yeah, dirty-themovie.com. And you can find all of the links to all of the places where you can download it and watch it.
Thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
All right, take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
The Rings.
The Rings, yeah, that's a good one.
I was with Rings.
I was with the...
He's absolutely Jason, he's absolutely gay. He'll absolutely brighten up the darkest rainy day. He's funny and loves movies, he's smart and he's a Jew.